Alright, this is keepable. So, as we head into the last match of our league, and this is the second league I've played with this Heartless Summoning Eldrazi deck. I don't know what the reason is to play the Heartless Summoning build over the other builds. Basically, all builds of the Eldrazi deck that I've seen are going to crush fair mid-range decks. That's just what these decks do. So, this deck, like all the other builds of Eldrazi, does crush fair mid-range decks. On the other hand, what these decks lose to are combo decks and sometimes very fast aggro decks. So, and I don't see what this build really does to help that problem. While it does theoretically speed up the clock by having the Heartless Summonings, it actually gives up points, I believe, in the aggro matches because you don't have Wasteland Strangler. And oddly, it sort of gives up points in combo matches as well, because some of the combo decks are reliant on their graveyard. So having 4 or 6 main deck graveyard hate spells is actually a really big deal. So I don't want to say this is worse than all the other builds. It is definitely the most all-in combo version that I've played of the Eldrazi builds. But I don't see what you really gain by playing this version over the other versions. That's my take after playing 2 leagues with it. What does our opponent have? Sire of Stagnation. That's a pretty bad card. And Inquisition takes our Expedition map. Well, I don't really want to let our opponent draw cards, but we might have to. We can play Kozilek's Channeler, play a Ghost Quarter, lets our opponent draw cards, but we get to hit the Eye of Ugin, and then we're still on course to Oblivion Sower next turn. Potentially without playing a land. Eldrazi Temple. Our opponent has the first Oblivion Sower. See what they hit. A Swamp and a Ghost Quarter. Not good, actually. That's kind of bad for us. They're going to Ghost Quarter our Eldrazi Temple. We get a Swamp. They get to draw 2 cards, unfortunately. No attacks for some reason. Well, let's lead on Thoughtseize. See what's going on over there. Actually, I probably should have played to Urborg first. Opponent lets it go. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they are pretty close to being able to play this Ulamog. I guess we just got to take the Ulamog, let our opponent draw 2 cards, then get our Oblivion Sower hit by Remand and probably lose. Or actually not Remand, by Leak. Yep. This card is horrible and seems very bad in a lot of matchups, but in the mirror it's actually pretty sweet because of Oblivion Sower and such. Yeah, I'm going to scoop this up. There's no way we're going to win it from there. Go for the Throats. Murderous Cut seem good. Relic doesn't really seem necessary. I guess we can go down All Is Dust for sure, and a Heartless Summoning. No black mana, all black cards. I guess we got a mulligan? Alright, that's slightly better. I think we'll keep the map on top. But we get to lead on Urborg into Thoughtseize. Our opponent kept a hand with no colored mana. I guess we take Oblivion Sower. Pass the turn. Ulamog is a long way away. And our opponent doesn't even have blue mana for Remand at the moment, and Urborg doesn't help with that. Eldrazi Temple. Well, let's Thoughtseize again. Void Winnower. Our opponent's playing every Eldrazi. Well, I guess we get rid of Ulamog, play the Sanctum of Ugin, play Expedition Map, pass the turn. Our opponent does get their blue mana. Ooh, Ghost Quarter. Alright, let's just play Ghost Quarter and pass. Opponent gets a Watery Grave. Opponent plays a Ghost Quarter. Alright, let's crack Expedition Map. Get an Eye of Ugin. Let's play Eye of Ugin, play Conduit of Ruin. Opponent remands. Do we want to search? Yeah, we might as well. They're going to hit our Eye of Ugin. So we get a swamp. In that case, we will not search. And we'll just play this Expedition Map and pass the turn. Opponent plays Eye of Ugin. And they have their own Conduit of Ruin. Interesting. I wonder if they search. They do. They search for an Ulamog. The problem is we're going to hit this Eye of Ugin with our Ghost Quarter. And we draw a Murderous Cut. That's good. That's an out to Void Winnower since it's odd converted mana cost. So we get to hit this Eye of Ugin. If they want to search up a basic, they're going to have to shuffle away. Yes, they shuffle away. So we can crack Expedition Map. Get our own Eye of Ugin. Basically, so far this has just been a battle over Eye of Ugins. And go for the throat to kill the Conduit of Ruin. So we know our opponent has that Void Winnower, which we now have an answer for in Murderous Cut. And our opponent draws another Ghost Quarter. And an Expedition Map. Well, that's good for our opponent. Ooh. Well, I guess we go with Conduit of Ruin. Does our opponent have another counter? Let's search up an Ulamog. Pass the turn. So what I'm expecting is our opponent searches up an Eye, and then can they play Void Winnower? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I don't think they can play Void Winnower, thankfully. There's Eye for our opponent. They have a removal spell. Heartless Summoning, okay. This is a interesting build of the deck. They're going to Ghost Quarter. We'll get a Swamp. Alright, so they are way ahead on mana. Oh, that was a draw. But we are ahead on interaction. So we get to Thoughtseize. And our opponent Doomblades. Mana Leak and Void Winnower. Can our opponent even cast Void Winnower? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I guess we take the leak, and then we just let them cast Void Winnower and Murderous Cut it, and then hope that we draw into some Eldrazi. And also that our opponent doesn't draw into an Eldrazi. So there's Void Winnower. Luckily we have this odd converted mana cost Murderous Cut. Kills the Void Winnower. Come on, creature, Oblivion Sower. Expedition map. Alright, play the map. Crack the map. Get a Ghost Quarter. Play the Ghost Quarter. Hit the Eye of Ugin. Well, this is going to come down to who draws an Oblivion Sower first, I believe. Another Urborg, basically a dead card. And it looks like our opponent wins the race. Conduit of Ruin. Alright. Well, that's a start of a win. Although if we draw an Oblivion Sower, not only do we get to actually just exile the top card of their library, which would include that Ulamog. Swamp, not what we wanted. Well, it looks like we're going to get outrun. Now the Ulamog's in hand, so if our opponent ever gets the mana necessary to cast it, they will just win. Alright, let's pass. And they're basically one soul land away. Another Heartless summoning. Well, let's kill that Conduit of Ruin. Ooh, there's an Oblivion Sower. That might give us a slight chance. Alright, we get the Oblivion Sower down. Problem is our opponents... They're gonna leak it? Oh my god. They drew a leak. And we whiff. Oh my god. Oh, now we die. Yep, of course. The next land down was... The next card down was a land. And that does it. Alright.